Test, 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 test. All right. Welcome everyone to the SSTAC meeting for Monday, January 22nd, 10 a.m. for the fiscal year 2023-2024. Today we, just want to start with introductions. Then we can go over the minutes from last time. And then we have the unmet transit needs assessment, which I emailed to everyone, and then a few other items for discussion. So to start, here in this room, I'm Victoria Proctor. I'm an associate planner here at BCAG and Beeline. And then with me, I have
Yvonne Garcia, BCAG's programming director.
And Amy White, assistant planner on the transit.
All right, Jay, would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, all. Jay Coughlin. I'm with
You're
the
welcome.
County Department of Employment and Social Services. Good to see everybody.
Right, and then Mary.
Mary Newman Passages.
Michael.
Michael Harding, We Care a Lot Foundation and FNRC transportation broker.
Great, and then David and Diane, did you guys get hooked in? Diane? Yeah. Okay, I can't hear you, but I'm pretty sure you're there because we were just talking.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay,
All right, and then is that last phone number, the 530-3534-1200, is that you, Ron? Ron, is that you? You are muted. All right, getting no answer. And then we have Cheryl on the line as well.
Yeah, hi, Cheryl, Miss A, HR Director.
All right. So we do have the minutes from the meeting last year, January 9th, 2023. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes if no one has any questions or comments about them?
You look good to me. So moved. This is Jay Coughlin.
Okay, for a second.
As accepted.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so half, I'm gonna move on to the unmet transit needs assessment. This year, we took it to the board to open we opened our 30-day outreach period. It's more like 45 days now because we open it at the end of October and the October board meeting, and which is the last week of October, and then it runs until the December board meeting, which is 2 weeks after Thanksgiving. So it ran from the end of October until December 9th. And we received a lot of good comments. We reached out to people in person, on the web, on the buses. We did a lot of outreach to try and make sure that we were getting this out here and into the public eye. And with the comments that we received, we found that there were no unmet transit needs that were reasonable to meet. We did receive comments about reinstating Route 31, but there is not enough ridership on the ridge to support a route reinstatement between Paradise and Magalia and Oroville. We also continue to receive comments about service to some areas like in Chico. But, right now, those just aren't as fiscally possible. Like the direct route between Chico and Marion Park. We do service that with, Route 5 and Route 7. We do understand that that is not an adequate solution for many people. And we are working on ways outside of the UTM process to try and fix that. But right now, it's not feasible, and it, is considered service that's already exists. We are also still looking at Sunday service, throughout our system. But right now, Sunday service on 40 and 41, again, there's just not enough ridership to support that for the fare box, ratio that we would need. Were there any questions or comments about the comments we received or other comments related to unmet transit needs?
What happens next?
Next, with this document, we will take it to our board. If it's approved here, it will be taken to the BCAG board in February and approved by the board, and then it will be sent to Caltrans. Kind of just as the document that we need in order to set up our TDA apportionments. The TDA funds, as you can see later on in the document in the back here, they go to support a lot of road work throughout the county. So what this document says is there's no unmet transit needs. I'm sorry, it is sideways. There's no unmet transit needs for public transit. So this money can then be used on streets and roads. And this is how it was spent in last fiscal year, 22-23. So that you can see exactly where this money went. It's not that it's not getting used. We're not sending it back to the state. It's still staying in our area. It's just not changing how our system runs. It's changing, it's improving roadways.
Let me just clarify that because of the TDA claims here that come through me, actually. Like Victoria said, those funds are going to streets and roads, but in many cases, they are going to bicycle and pedestrian types of projects. Our local agencies are strategically using those for those types of improvements. And they are now required to specifically report with a specific list of projects where those funds are going. And that's to bring this agency in alignment with reporting federal performance measures. Are you doing rehab work? Are you doing congestion? Are you doing transit? Are you doing safety? BCAG is on the hook to report progress on working towards those performance metrics. And that's something that we just kind of push down the line to our local cities and county for all funds that come through this agency. So I'm willing to bet that these are going towards those types of improvements.
Thank you, Yvonne.
So as SSTAC, one thing that you can do in your capacity is if there's specific projects where you could say, you know what, this may not be a transit need for your clients or who you represent. Maybe there's a nexus for a bike and pedestrian type of improvement to get folks to use transit, like a first and last mile. So keep that in mind if you're hearing stuff like that you think we need to hear on our end. So you know what, Chico or county, can you guys, there's an issue here in this area that may not necessarily be a transit specific, but in the spirit of first and last mile, maybe it is. I don't know. That's all.
Were there
Sorry.
any other comments or questions? Please remember to unmute yourself if you do want to speak. Okay, seeing none, can I get a motion to approve the unmet transit needs?
I'll make the motion that we approve the unmet needs report.
Can I get a second?
This is Jake Coughlin. I'll second.
All right, all in favor? All right,
Aye.
great, thank you. And then going back to the agenda. We have made some changes recently, for Beeline. We recently changed the fare structure to make it more simplified. Historically, we've had 3 different types of fare for fixed route, regular, student, and discount. We've eliminated the student fare completely, so now it's just regular and discount. And we also stopped selling the 2 ride passes for fixed route service. So people can buy a single ride, they can buy a 10 ride, or they can buy a 30-day. And they can do that either with cash, right, and an all-day pass. They can either do that with cash or on to get a paper ticket, or they can do that on token transit, and the pass will live on their phone. Token transit's not new to this committee, so that part has stayed the same. We just wanted to try and make it simpler for the people selling the passes and also for the people buying them. We've received a lot of feedback that, hey, wait, I'm not sure, but what if I qualify for this and this? Which one do I use? Which one's the better deal? So this will hopefully solve a lot of those issues. We did receive some feedback from some of the organizations that were buying the 2 ride passes, and we are able to sell all day passes to them, or 1 ride passes if needed. But in general, the cheapest thing to do is, if you have a group of people traveling together, is to just buy the 10 ride pass and use that. We also completed the route optimization study since last we spoke, and that gave us a couple of really good suggestions and a path forward for fixing the Beeline, to make it more efficient and to, fit what people in the 21st century need. So we've implemented a few of those changes now. One of those changes actually was removing the 2 ride passes from sale. But one of them was also to separate out Route 17 from Route 14. So Route 17 no longer goes down MLK. Both of them start at the transit center. They head southbound on Park Avenue, and then turn left onto East 20th Street. And Route 17 goes down Fair Street and heads south on Fair Street to service the Jesus Center and the other 8 organizations and houses that are on Fair Street. And Route 14 continues on East 20th and then heads south on Forest, and then it will loop around on Skyway and head northbound on Martin Luther King Jr. and then back onto East 20th to head back to the transit center. So Route 17 now heads south on Fair Street, and then it heads east, on Skyway over to to Notre Dame, and then Forest, so it can head back west on East 20th Street. And overall, we've received really positive feedback about that from the people who work at the Jesus Center, as well as from our bus drivers and the regulars who use that route. But we are, we're slowly trudging along, trying to make sure that we are approaching everything with care for the routing study, as well as for the non-emergency transit implementation part. There's some background things that we're trying to get done, so that when we do implement things that change service, it's hopefully just for the better, and it doesn't cause any other disruptions. And then Yvonne had wanted to update everyone on the RTP and SES.
Any questions for Victoria before I give my spiel? Anybody? Again, I'm Ivan Garcia. I'm BCAG's programming director. I mainly work on other acronym types of projects like the RTP SES, which is the Regional Transportation Plan / Sustainable Community Strategies. You know, the cities and the counties have their general plan on how they're going to grow, right? BCAG has the RTP SES. It's our general plan for transportation that projects out with a 20-year minimum time frame, and we cover all modes of transportation. So we got streets and local streets and roads, highways on behalf of Caltrans, active transportation projects, rail, goods movement, what else? Transit. And so I just wanted to give an update to you all as a standing BCAG committee. This is one of the regular planning documents that we are required to prepare an update as the federally designated metropolitan planning organization and state designated regional transportation planning agency. It's something that we have to update every 4 years. This next voluminous document is scheduled to be adopted by the BCAG board in December. Of significance to the SSTAC would probably be the transit chapter update. So in this area, I will be asking Sarah, Victoria, and Amy here just an update for the transit chapter. I suspect it's gonna really just mirror what that route optimization study is for the short term, and then non-emergency service as well, and then identify what the long-term vision is for the agency. I'd be happy to give a focus workshop if anybody wants to have one. I'm happy to come out not only to talk about the RTP SES, but any other planning or programming function of this agency. Happy to do so. I do a lot of public outreach, or we do. Happy to come out. If there's a need or if people are interested in what this agency is doing, happy to come out. That's really it. Everything's posted online. If you're really interested and want to dive into the weeds, you can see what are the projects that are being submitted by the local cities and county or BCAG. Yeah. If there's any questions, happy to address them.
And then we just had Judy Barclay join us. So Judy, I'm not sure if you had any comments about the unmet transit or about anything else that you wanted to put on the record. You are muted.
If this was the last item, maybe do a few.
Could you say once again what RTP SES stands for?
Regional Transportation Plan, Sustainable Community Strategy. So the RTP
Thanks.
is required to have some basic elements, a policy element that has the goals, objectives, and policies of the plan. Financial element, so I'll do 20-year minimum financial forecast for the funds that are programmed through this agency, or local funds if that's what's identified by the locals. Financial action. The action element identifies all the specific projects, and it has a specific sustainable community strategy that has more housing and employment. That's a state requirement, actually. There's a air quality conformity determination that looks at all the projects and how we're growing as a region to make sure we're in compliance with our air quality requirements. And there's a full-blown environmental impact report, which is still a mystery to me because it's a planning document on, what if scenarios. So it is what it is. It's a requirement. It's a big undertaking by this agency and typically takes 2 years to get done. A lot of traffic modeling. It's a big project, but it's our general plan. here's what we know today, here's our financial forecast, here's where we think we're growing as an agency, and here's how we're hitting these different requirements. And we're trying to bring this agency in alignment to making sure everything we program is in alignment with those federal performance targets, but also California's climate action plan for transportation infrastructure, which really puts the squeeze on us to making sure we're hitting those climate objectives of reducing vehicle miles traveled, improving air quality and whatnot, those type of deal. And a big factor is transit.
Were there any other comments or that people or anything else that you wanted to bring out as a member of the public and as a member of this board before we close the meeting?
We can freestyle. Any questions? Anything you wanna curious about anything?
No, just thanks. You guys did a lot this last year, especially with the optimization study. So it's been nice seeing
Yeah.
everything put together. Well done.
Back when I used to do the transit needs assessment, most of the comments by far were positive for an agency this size, and a lot of praise for the drivers. You know,
Yeah, we still get a lot of
Yeah.
driver praise.
so we're trying, kudos to Sarah, Victoria and Amy to try to mix it up with this route optimization, and can we do better? We've toyed with the idea of making transit free. If so, how do we pay for it?
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm of the opinion if you're using transit, we should be saying thank you. It's hard to compete when we don't have the congestion of our big urbanized neighbors.
All right, on that note, if there's no other comment, I'm gonna go ahead and adjourn the meeting, and we will see you all next time, next January, if not before then.
Really?
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.